Okay, let me say this before I begin. Regardless of whether the woman is responsible or not, as far as dealing with her having children, just know when you get into a relationship with a woman, she's going to actually look at you as being number two. Her first priority, her number one priority are the children. You have to accept that. Off the rip. Regardless of whether that woman takes care of her children or not, always know that in a relationship, the woman is always going to choose the children over you. And this is one of the biggest reasons why I would tell you to not date women that have children. Take it from me. I've been on both sides of the fence. I've dealt with women, that had children. And then also, I had a so-called, quote-unquote, stepdad. And let me tell you something. When I was younger, it's nothing like dating a woman that has a son. Because the sons are protective, as far as dealing with the woman, dealing with the mom. I recall probably about 10, 11, I'd say about 12 years old, I punched one of my mother's dates in the face. This is something that you have to deal with. You understand? This is something that you have to take on. And I was always telling the man that you ain't my daddy. For real. That's something that you're going to have to hear. Now, just think about this. Think about this. You providing a house over that young boy's head, or let's just say a young girl's head. You're providing food. Well, the essential things in life that you need. Food, shelter, and clothing. And this boy and this girl is going to tell you how much you are not his or her dad. This is the stuff that you have to deal with. And these are the things that people don't tell you about. That's the reason why I'm telling you to not date women that have children. Because you're going to go through this. You understand? And I know what, women going to say that have children also. You know what I'm saying? They're going to say this. Well, my children are well behaved and this and that and so forth. Well, let me tell you something. When what if they don't behave? Do I have the right to punish your children? And most women would say no. So now you've taken the authoritative part out of the relationship. So how is that a family? Because you're creating a family with this woman. So how does that look when you're taking the power from the man? So this boy and this girl could say whatever and do whatever, and the only thing that you could do is just run back to mommy and tell mommy, you know what I'm saying, what this boy and this girl is doing, and then the mama discipline him. But these are the things that people are not telling you. You understand? I had to go through that. On the other side of the stick, I was someone's so-called stepdad, and I had no power. And I was second. Well, actually, it depends on how many children that the female has. Shit, you could be 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Just depends on how many children they have. This is the reason why it's wise to create your own family. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing like giving birth to a child, and it's your first child, and that's that woman's first child. Straight up. I wish life wasn't like this. I wish women and men didn't make the wrong choices when they picked or chose who to mate with. You know what I'm saying? But this is how life is. And I know, some of y'all women are gonna say, well, what about you? Don't you have children? What if a woman decides that she don't want to date you because you have children? Guess what? It's her prerogative. She has every right to say, hey, listen, I don't want to date a man that has children because I feel the same way. I have the same sentiments, such as the woman has. I don't want nobody to put their hands on my children. My children are my children. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, true indeed. You be just nothing but a jump off to me. You know what I'm saying? You'll be number 3, 4, 5, or 5th in line. You know what I mean? Because I take my children, I put my children first before I put any boy, including their mother. That's real talk. Including my mother, including my father. Let my father do something to my children. Let my mother do something to my children. It's a wrap. They're my enemy. That's my word. I hardly allow the mother of my children to discipline my children. You know what I'm saying? When she's disciplining them, After the fact, I'm like, yo, what did they do wrong? I want to know. Because if you mistreated them, it's going to be a problem. So yeah, true indeed. I have zero problems if a woman were to say, yo, I'm not going to date you because you have children. None at all. It's your prerogative, and you got to know what you're getting into. And that's the point that I'm trying to make. You know, you have, not all, but you have some of these women that's looking for a come up. They're looking for a man to come into their picture and take care of the female and her children. You know what I'm saying? And that's messed up. You didn't lay in a bed and bust a nut in order to have these children. And most times, the children, that's something else that I a lot of people fail to mention. You got to think about the children's father, whether they're going to be in their lives or not. You know what I'm saying? And most times, the children's fathers and fathers, some women got baby daddies, plural. You know, most of the time, the father's not in their life. And you got to basically take care of the mom just as well as the children. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to do that? She's bringing luggage. You know what I'm saying? Metaphorically speaking, when she get out of the airport, off that airplane, she's bringing tons of luggage. When you get off that airplane, you just got to carry on. Why should you take her luggage? What's the advantages? This is what you got to look at, young men. What are the advantages of dating a woman with children? And I know some of you all, you wet behind the ears and all of that shit. And this female may have her own apartment. You may be living at home or whatever have you, and it's your first time going to a female house. She may be about 2-3 years older. She might be a little bit more mature. She got a job going on, you know what I'm saying? And you going over her house, you get to lay up with her. She giving you blowjobs, all the rest of that shit. She got you whipped. But it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Because you have your whole life ahead of you. This broad already did what she had to do. Regardless of if she's in her early 20s or late 30s or whatever. She's done what she had to do. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to go through that shit. You don't. This is a new day and time. And we don't have to put up with a woman's bullshit, let alone her children. And let's just say if the men are in the equation. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand that female has a family, and part of that family, and you're dating that female, part of her family is that man. Straight up. That's real talk, and you have to accept that because they are co-parenting, and there are going to be times where they're going to have to sit down and have conversations about the children. I mean, like face to face. And you may have, for the most part, if she's respectful, you're going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to be included. You're part of the family as well. Are you willing to share part of that circle with another man? I know I'm not. Straight up. Are you willing to do it? Is the question. And then you got to go through the whole mess of, this is another thing too, you got to go through the whole mess of, let's say, for example, let's go back to the narrative of the man not being there. You know what I'm saying? The man being a deadbeat dad. Well, you have to take full responsibility of that child. The woman expects that. The woman's family expect that. And then if you have a Christian family, they expect that. So all of the burdens on you, and this deadbeat dad over there playing PS5, doing what he want to do, and not taking care of his responsibilities, but the responsibility falls on you. And you didn't even have the opportunity to have sex in order to create these children. These are the things that people are not telling you. And this is the reason why I say that you shouldn't date a woman that has children. It's too many problems. So many problems, and don't let these women fool you. They'll talk about one particular situation. Well, I know my girlfriend, she got with a man and she had children and the man accepted the children and loved her. And that's one situation. That's one situation, excuse me. That does not always happen, and most times it doesn't happen. Straight up. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? I would like to believe that some of the problems that caused my mother and her fucking husband to get a divorce was, me. You know what I'm saying? Me. They tried to create a family that couldn't. It just couldn't happen. He had a child. And then my mother, it was my sister and I. And then they tried to bring us together, and it just did not work. You know what I'm saying? I never, the female, till this day, my mother calls her daughter. I'm talking about the dudes, my mother's husband's daughter. My mother calls her daughter till this day. My sister says, that's my sister. I never said that was my sister. I always denied that. I said that wasn't my father, that wasn't my sister. Those are not my grandparents. That's not my aunts and uncles, or none of that. I know I have family, you know what I'm saying? And all my family was in New York. I didn't need them. But this is what you have to deal with. I've snuck and taken my so-called stepdad's gun. You know what I'm saying? At 15, 16 years old, I was stealing money from him. I was doing some of everything. Straight up. I did not give 2 fucks about him. Straight up. So are you willing to deal with a little nigga like me when I was young? I was taking his cologne. I was doing some of everything. And part of the reason why I was acting out is because he gave me all of these broken promises and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when he first got with my mom's, he was on some shit like, yo, we gonna do this and we gonna do that. And I'm not lying. I really fell for the bullshit. And then once he married my mom's, all that shit stopped, ceased to exist. He had turntables and he was like, yo, you could, get on the turntables and shit. And one day I was on him, he was like, nah, I got better than him. He was like, nah, you can't, don't touch my shit anymore. You know what I'm saying? And then my mom's didn't make it better. He had his own cereal that we couldn't touch. This nigga couldn't, he didn't have to cook, he didn't have to clean. And this is the point that I'm making to you. But see, an average woman with children won't tell you this shit. They won't. It's best for you to find somebody that you're cool with, that doesn't have any children. You young, so it's best for you to find someone that's at home. You know what I'm saying? She may have an apartment or whatever. She's going to a community college. She may go to a 4-year college, HBCU, or a regular white regular college. She got things going on. And she's preoccupied. She's not focused. Her main focal point is not having children. Her focus is her career. You know what I'm saying? What she want to do and how she's going to bring when she marries, what she's going to be able to bring to the table. You want a fresh, brand new broad. That's what you want. Untainted. And as she is practicing, as she is having sex, she's being responsible by taking some type of form of birth control. And that's just real. Most of these women out here just going raw dog. And most of us are victims of, oops, I busted a nut. I'm sorry. I was one of them. I know my mother, my father didn't plan on me coming. My mother and my father planned on coming. That's it. And that's real talk. And I'm not saying that I'm a degenerate. Or you all are. But most black folks, we don't plan for children to come. All we do is plan on coming. And then what happens is the children get here and we like, shit. Are you ready? Are you ready to take on that burden? Women will sit here, not all women, but some women will sit here and tell you that women that at times children are a burden. They'll tell you children are a blessing. That's bullshit. If they're a blessing, why I gotta spend all this goddamn money? Straight up. I have children of my own. And I'm telling you, they grow out of clothes. Like that. Shoes. They eat up every fucking thing because they're growing. Are you ready to take on that responsibility? And I know getting goddamn well, I may not get the views like everybody else does on this particular topic, but I've done my due diligence, my homework. And a lot of people are not talking this shit like I'm talking it. I'm giving you the reality. And that's that plain and simple. If you're a selfish person, if you like your own space, I would tell you, don't date a chick that got children. Don't move in with her. Don't even consider having sexual intercourse with her. Move on. There's enough bros around here that don't have children. Especially when you're young and children, women your age. I know you have this fetish of dating older women, having sex with older women. Hell, I was in my early 20s and I boned a chick was like, she was like 40. Like 40, like 42. Yeah, she was like, I was in my mid 20s and she was like in her mid 40s. She was a sexy bro, and I went over her house one day. I didn't even know. She's like, yo, I got a son, an older son or whatever. I didn't know the nigga lived with her. I'm coming out of the room, going to the bathroom and shit. This motherfucker bigger and taller than me. I'm like, oh, whoa. This is the shit you gotta deal with when you date a woman that has children. That's real talk. Even when the child is not a child anymore, he's a grown man, a grown-ass woman, you still got to deal with that shit. They're going to ask you. They're going to question you. When you at the cookouts and the little celebrations and your girl invites you over that has children, they're going to be like, so what are you going to do with my mom's, man? You know, she's been through, no. Once they say she's been through a lot and she's been used and abused, you got to walk away from that shit. Straight up. Yo, you're not there. Straight up, man. I don't know how many times I got to tell young man, you're not here to fucking, your life's purpose is not to goddamn cater towards a woman's needs. Especially when she's not catering towards yours. It's not your life's purpose. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all probably might not be familiar with the dude, but the guy from Little Brother, I forgot his name, Fonte, the rapper from Little Brother. Fonte said, a woman's love is love and a man's love is life. And that's true. That's true. That's my word, man. I have children, but even I don't put my children in front of me. Like, I have a purpose. I serve a purpose in life. I serve a purpose in life, and I'm going to live up to that purpose. I was born here by myself, and I'm going to leave this planet by myself. So yeah, true indeed, my children are my first priority when it comes to others, but I'm my first priority. And that's what you have to do. Young men, it's okay to be selfish at times. I know that the world will tell you not to be, but it's okay to be that way because you know what? Most people are, but they just won't say it. They just won't say it. I'm telling you, man, not lying. I've been on both sides of the fence. And I'm telling you, yo, you do not want to date women that have children. You don't even want to consider it. You don't even want to have sex with them. You know, once you say, that's okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I'm Gucci. I'm going to move on to the next one. And that's real talk. And you women out there that don't have children and you choose not to date a man that has children, you have that right. I am not being biased. I'm going to be fair and square with this one. You understand? So I hope I, helped you all out. There's more to come. Pause. I'm definitely going to get into relationships because you young men out there, man, I'm going to get into that hookup culture too. You young man, you need to be guided the right way. And I know my platform or my channel is not, like these big channels on YouTube, but whoever I could reach in the most positive way, you know what I'm saying, is a blessing to them as well as myself. You know what I'm saying? All I'm here to do is to right the wrong. I've made my mistakes in life and I've learned from them. And if I can, tell, metaphorically speaking, if I can tell this young man right here, yo, don't walk down this street because it's a pit hole right there. And if you walk down in that street, you're going to fall in that pit hole. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I know, because I've done it. If I can say that, man, and I can stop it, I could stop this generational curse that we have on us, where we just fucking and fucking and fucking and fucking and fucking and having degenerate children, or children that we're not taking care of, and children that other people have to take care of. Man, it'll be a good look. So expect more. My name is Langston2092. I want you to like, comment, subscribe. Definitely share this video.